Conservative Media peeps, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion, joined by Paul F. Villarreal. Wow, I just can't believe this news. I'm going to talk to the boxing fans all around the world, the Manny Pacquiao fans all around the world. In my personal opinion, I am absolutely 100% shocked by this whole situation. I have to say this right now. This is all my personal opinion only, all of our personal opinion only. We're not alleging facts, not casting aspersions, all for entertainment, parody purpose only. Please check disclaimers. Hey, you know, Paul, this, in my opinion, was a shocking situation. Now, I thought that Pacquiao was going to take Bradley out of there in 6 rounds or less. But, in my personal opinion, the fight basically went down the way I thought it was, which is that Bradley couldn't really hurt Pacquiao. Pacquiao had enough speed and enough, timing ability and experience to be able to hit Bradley. And when he hit him, he could hurt him. And that, in my personal opinion, was the story in this fight. But I just can't believe this whole split decision situation, dude. I feel like I've been slapped in the face, dude. And, look, in my personal opinion, maybe I'm not the only one that feels like this. I just listened to Teddy Atlas on ESPN, who I believe said that Pacquiao won. We're going to deal with Teddy's comments in a next video, but also I was, also checking, Dan Raphael's scorecard online. He had this for Pacquiao. I checked Kevin Melvani's scorecard online. He has for Pacquiao. I think the fans on the ESPN voting were like, I think 85, 87% for Pacquiao. And Paul, I think that the punch stats, particularly in the power punches, favored Pacquiao. What in the world is your reaction to this? I think that the Pacquiao fans all over the world are not going to be happy about this.
I am stunned at this decision. I really am. The only way, in my opinion, that you can come to this conclusion is that the judges looked at this fight and said, hey, round to round, Timothy Bradley was more active and was throwing a little bit more, etc., than Manny Pacquiao. I personally had the fight 118 to 110 for Manny Pacquiao, which is 10 rounds to 2. I think you said that Dan Raphael had it 119 to 109 or something like that, which is 11 rounds to 1 for Pacquiao. The problem that I have with giving Bradley those rounds and this decision is that Pacquiao was hurting Bradley almost every single round. And so you have one guy who, yeah, he had some flurries and some activity, but he's getting hurt round after round after round after round. And it's just like, it just seemed like, I just don't know how you can give a guy the rounds and the fight in that circumstance. Look, I have full respect for Timothy Bradley. He really took some big punishment in this fight. Really took some shots. And his conditioning and his defense, some of his bending at the waist to avoid shots, really carried him through here. I give him all the credit in the world. I respect him a lot, even more after this fight than I did before. But I personally, it's very difficult for me to see Timothy Bradley having won this fight.
Look, Paul, in my personal opinion, I agree with you. I said in the HBO 24/7 reaction and review that I did, and also in the weigh-in review and everything like that, that Timothy Bradley, Timothy Desert Storm Bradley looked like he was in great shape, that his dad, Big Ray, and the rest of that crew got him in tremendous shape, whether it was the vegan diet or whatever, and I thought he was there to fight and looked like he was really, really ready for this fight. But at the same time, this fight, in my personal opinion, unfolded the way that I thought it was. And like you said, I don't think, in my personal opinion, that Timothy Bradley, if he didn't bend at the waist and didn't, go for some more defensive, tactics and stuff like that, in my personal opinion, he could have been touching the canvas at some point in this fight, and maybe we could have seen a KO or a TKO, because I felt like, he was absorbing some punishment and getting stung on many occasions, Paul.
He was getting hurt, like I said, in almost every single round. I gave Bradley the 10th round. I thought Pacquiao kind of took the round off a little bit, but in almost every single round from, like, I don't know, maybe round 2, round 3 on, Pacquiao was hurting him. And it was kind of like Pacquiao was coasting a little bit. And again, like I said, I can understand it kind of philosophically, like the judges' criteria of activity and stuff, but Bradley was just getting hurt and hurt and hurt and hurt and hurt. And when you see that, for me, it's extremely difficult to score rounds like for the person being hurt in that circumstance, even if they are a little more active, a little busier. Just the power punching and the control of the action was just in Pacquiao's favor. And what you said, I agree with. I thought in the last maybe 3 to 4 rounds, Bradley kind of went into more of a, not a defensive shell, but kind of on his bike and staying out of harm. It looked to me like he just wanted to survive the fight. Yet he ends up winning the fight. It's really a shocker.
Oh my goodness! I look, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of people are going to want to talk about this. I think there's a lot to say, and also in my personal opinion, I would not be surprised if there is, a lot of people upset by this. Quite frankly, a lot of Pacquiao fans upset by this, but beyond the Pacquiao and Bradley fans, there may be boxing fans that are upset by this. I wonder what kind of additional conversations and next steps we might see out of this situation. Do you think that Pacquiao and his team will appeal this? Is there going to be talk about a rematch? What do you think happens next for Bradley? What happens next for Manny Pacquiao? And what about, Floyd Mayweather? Where would he maybe fit into this mix, Paul? There's a lot of questions coming out of this whole situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Team Pacquiao is going to do. I'm certain they won't be happy about this, and they certainly, I'm sure, didn't expect this, for sure. But I don't know if they'll appeal. I don't know if they'll try to just get a rematch. It's a very good question. As far as Floyd Mayweather, apparently I think he was watching the fight tonight in the detention center that he's at right now. Look, if I were Floyd Mayweather, I'd be thrilled, because you don't have to fight Manny Pacquiao now because he lost. So it's like, if there's any questions or whatever, or you're not sure about how that fight would go down, now you don't really have to fight him, in my opinion, because he lost. So that's my feeling about where everything is at. It's going to be very interesting to see how Team Pacquiao reacts to this.
There's so much to talk about now, and I know you fans are going to want to weigh in. You could give the comments below. There's no question about it. In my personal opinion, Manny Pacquiao is a champion, and he's going to want to answer this, probably, in my personal opinion, in the ring. If I had to predict right now, I'm predicting that somehow, some way, there's going to be a rematch here. And I think, in my personal opinion, Manny Pacquiao wants to make a definitive statement with his fist and put Timothy Bradley on the canvas. If I had to guess on anything right now, I would say that a quick rematch is what I think that Manny Pacquiao is going to want to do, and just really be a little bit more aggressive and put the statement out there, because I think what was evident tonight, Paul, was that Bradley was not able to hurt Pacquiao, but Pacquiao was able to hurt Bradley, and he still was had the skills and the ability and the speed to be able to find Bradley with the punches. And I think if Pacquiao goes in there and opens up a little bit more, we can see a different situation of Bradley hitting the canvas, Paul.
I totally agree. There were definitely multiple times where Timothy Bradley was clearly stung. I mean, legs jelly-ish and kind of stumbling around a little bit. But give him credit, he did what he had to do to survive. I think that Manny Pacquiao, if there's a rematch, will definitely come looking for a definitive victory.
Now, let me ask you this question right here. Do you agree with me? Do you feel that Pacquiao and his camp will want that rematch and want to make that quick? Do you think that's the next step for them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the Mayweather fight, probably, there's no off now. If it wasn't off before, I would think that the only thing that would be on their mind would be rematching Bradley, definitely. There's nothing else for Pacquiao to do. I mean, there's really nobody else to fight, particularly if Mayweather, if that fight won't happen now because of this loss. I mean, the only thing he really has to clean up is this. So I'm sure they would want to do that.
Yeah, I think if you're Pacquiao, I think you have to do this fight, and then all kinds of other, and get in there and win in a definitive manner. And I think at that point, then all kinds of other stuff opens up. JM, fourth fight, Mayweather, Pacquiao, everything like that. And I think, look, I mean, even if you're Floyd Mayweather, how many people are going to want to see a Mayweather-Bradley fight, in my personal opinion, until we can get another rematch. I think the public, in my personal opinion, is going to want to see a rematch here, because I think that there are questions that remain unanswered by this situation. I think there's a lot of people with questions. I mean, when you see, if you look at the scoring in contemporaneous fashion and statements thereafter of Dan Raphael, if you look at the way that in the comments, either the scoring or the comments of folks like Dan Raphael and Teddy Atlas, obviously boxing experts and stuff like that, Mulvaney and all these folks, and they're saying that, if I remember right, if I saw it right, they're saying that Pacquiao won. I think that people are going to want to see a rematch. That's what I'm saying. I think that people want to see a rematch of this situation. And, Bradley fans, you got to weigh in on this right now. There's just so much to talk about with this situation, Paul. I mean, I think people are going to be buzzing about this. We're going to do, I think you're going to have a video on this. We're definitely going to do a video on the comments of Teddy Atlas. In my personal opinion, those are very strong comments. And there's a lot to talk about this. I mean, there's just so much to say right now. So I need to hear from you boxing fans all around the world. You have to weigh in on this right now. This is a mega story in the world of boxing. The official scoring and the official decision is Manny Pacquiao loses a split decision to Timothy Bradley. He loses his world championship welterweight title. Timothy Bradley remains undefeated. Timothy Desert Storm Bradley now has those belts. What's up with this? So much to talk about. Manny Pacquiao fans, how are you feeling about this? Timothy Bradley fans, how are you feeling about this? Everyone needs to weigh in right now. Comments below. Please give us the comments below. Please subscribe above. Also, please rate this video up, and also please post to your social networking sites. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion. That is Paul F. Villarreal. We are Conservative New Media. Stay tuned. We're going to have more coverage of this explosive news in the world of boxing. Stay tuned for those videos coming up next.